Okay. So remember, Talon, there's three reasons we're taking a look at this.
Mm-hmm.
One, it helps to determine your strengths and weaknesses. What's that tell us? It means you need to know your strengths so you can apply them more.
Uh-huh.
But your strengths aren't going to be the problem. You got to acknowledge and be aware of your weaknesses, and then you have to hire to your weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, staffing. Certain positions require certain factors. An example is if you're looking for somebody for billing, it's a very meticulous job. So what personality profile would fit that? That would be the melancholy personality. So you'd want at least a primary or secondary melancholy personality. If you hired the wrong person, if you hired a high sanguine or passive phlegmatic, it's like adding oil and water and it will not work. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So you understand how you can screw this up by hiring the wrong type of person to put them in the wrong type of role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just waste a bunch of time.
Okay. The third category is how to communicate with patients. Each patient, you have to determine their personality profile because it's going to tell you three things. Number one, how to communicate with that person. We communicate with a sanguine different than a choleric, different than a melancholy, different than a passive phlegmatic. Number two, it'll tell you if they're the decision maker. That's important on day 4. Number three, opposites attract, and it'll tell you how easy it's going to be to get their spouse as a new patient. So how much information are we going to get out of this personality profile?
Find all the cracks, hopefully.
How much did I just cover?
Um, well,
Oh,
yeah, that's kind of
I
everything.
just covered a lot.
Yeah.
I just covered a lot.
I'm
Okay.
just thinking like specifics.
Okay.
What I
In other
need.
words, you got to know this. This is not something that you just skim by. As a business owner, you've got to know this to apply it to all those categories I just told you. You talk to the person wrong, you're violating communication. You don't know if they're the decision maker, you're in trouble. You hire the wrong person for the wrong, that doesn't have the natural skills for their job, you're in trouble. You miscalculate yourself and try to put yourself in a position to do something that you're naturally not good at, you're in trouble. So you can get yourself in a lot of trouble by not knowing this. Okay. Now, when you do know it, it makes everything work better, faster, and easier. Okay. So we're looking at your natural, it says your natural internal style. Okay. So it says, right below. So you have D, it says your style is DC, cautious thinker, dominant. Okay. Your adapted style, cautious thinker, behaviors, natural blend. So you kind of have a natural blend across you. That's kind of rare. Most people have what are called a primary and secondary profile. Over 50th percentile. Remember, everybody has these to some degree. It's how strong they are. Most people have what are called primary and secondary over 50th percentile. That's what you're paying attention to. So let's go back through here. Okay, let's go into your profile specifically. Okay. This is kind of a very unusual mixture. Your primary D, secondary C. That's a very odd combination.
I tried to answer the questions as honest as I could.
Yeah. Actually, that's my profile. I'm very D at work, but socially, I'm a C,
Well, like,
which is a
can you give an
very
example?
unusual combination.
So
Okay,
we're similar, you're
so
saying?
about Talon, let's go through a quick summary of your style, your primary drive, creating original solutions, gifts, creating analytical thinking in new creative ways, what you contribute, organizing information, creating new approaches, your ideal environment, debating issues and using independent thinking, your greatest concern being excluded. When you're stressed, you're highly competitive, arrogant, condescending, blind spot, lack of concern for other people's feelings, low tolerance. That's very common for a D personality, a dominant personality. What words that probably describe you? Strong-willed, determined, critical thinking, analytical device, constant, confident, intensive, industrious. So your strengths: personal courage, goal accomplishment, creating structure, building systems, focus, competitive. Okay, that's all part of the D category, the dominant category. So now here's your weak spots. The blind spots, and our blind spots are usually areas of behavior perceptions where we simply do not see clearly. Blind spots, blind that they do not even realize. We fail to see others or others clearly see these areas of communication or interaction. So areas that might be blind spots for you: acknowledging and appreciating other people's feelings. That's very common with dominant personalities. We're not as emotional, it's more logical. We want to get to the point. We're not touchy-feely. Allowing room. And by the way, Talon, you'll marry the opposite. Are you married?
No, not right now.
You'll marry the opposite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'll marry a sanguine melancholy is who you'll marry.
Mm.
That's what naturally gets along with your personality.
Mm.
Opposites attract.
Yeah.
If you have somebody with the same personality, you butt heads.
Mm. I see that.
Caring for people, relaxing and enjoying time with people. Okay. Communication style, focus on the bottom line results. That's very dominant. Okay. All right. So it's kind of interesting because you have a lower tone scale. So you're a dominant personality, but you have a lower tone scale. Are you aware you have a lower tone scale?
Um, what do you can you give me an example like feeling wise, like t tone? What does that mean?
Speak soft.
I speak soft.
Yeah.
If I'm confident in what I'm doing, I'll say it. But yeah, I think that's a weakness. If I'm doubting myself, yeah, I could see myself.
Like right now, you're not looking at me, you're turning
Yeah.
your
Mm-hmm.
wrist is on your body language is showing no confidence right now. You're
Mm-hmm.
turning away from me, your hands on your elbow, you're mumbling and you're not looking at me. Terrible. All four of those are terrible communication styles.
Okay, well, yeah, this is showing it then, yeah.
That's weakness. That's not strength.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let me give you some insight of how this relates to being self-employed. Okay. Now, this is one of the best personalities that matches what it takes to be self-employed. It's one of them. The things you have to do to be self-employed, you got to get things done, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can't just wait around for things to happen.
No.
You'll go under, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to take control. You got to take initiative. You got to be able to confront employees, confront patients. You got to have guidelines, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You've got to move people along, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, is a dominant personality, do they naturally have that ability?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have the natural personality, you just don't have the experience yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're showing a lot of inexperience with your confidence, with your body language and your tone, but underlying, you have the basic components of what it takes to be self-employed. So you're a natural fit with being self-employed. So that
Mm-hmm. Okay,
works.
cool.
Now, obviously, you need to work on your communication. And if you were my associate or if I was working with you, the number one thing that I would tell you to do to increase your body posture, your tone, your language, come across with more confidence, because your body language doesn't come across with confidence at all, is I'd send you to Toastmasters for 6 months.
Mm.
If you want to increase your how you communicate, your confidence level, your posture, your effectiveness, go to Toastmasters for 6 months. I required all of my doctors to go to Toastmasters. And the reason I did is exactly what I just told you. You won't come out of there like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how you act when you come out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So if you want to invest in yourself, and usually the Toastmasters are free, or it might be $10 a month, something like that. They're nonprofit organizations. They usually meet in the early morning. Sometimes they meet in the evening. So that's my number one advice to you right now, is to join Toastmasters for 6 months. They usually do it once a week, and it will significantly increase your communication, your body language, and your active listening skills. That's like the single best thing you could do for yourself to increase your abilities. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that something you think you might want to do, or you don't want to do it?
This is like public speaking kind of a
Yeah.
class.
Yeah, it's public speaking, but it's
Yeah.
more than public speaking.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Why don't you look into it? The next time I tell you, why don't you tell me about what you found, and then tell me if you're going to do it or not?
Okay.
Just give me an outline of what's going on in your area, what's available, when do they meet, how often do they meet, where do they meet, just all the basics, how much. And then let me know that next time I talk to you. And then let me know if you have an interest in. That's the number one thing that you can do to increase your skill level right now. If you were my associate doctor, you would not have a choice. When my doctors came in, they did not have a choice. They had to go to Toastmasters for 6 months, or I wasn't going to work with them. I wasn't going to train them. Now, do you know why I was so rigid with that?
Um, because that weakness will always be a Achilles heel for them, possibly.
I knew the outcome at the end of 6 months. You don't. I already knew how great of an impact it was going to be on the doctors' lives.
Mm.
So you don't have a clue right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So you're in a good position to do it because you're young. How old are you?
Just turned 25.
Yeah. You're in a, yeah, I'm telling you, you get this stuff down, 5 years, you should be a multimillionaire. 5 years. Don't screw around. Get this down, what I'm talking about. I'm teaching you how to run a business. I just gave you the best advice I could give you right up to this point in time. Don't screw around. Get in Toastmasters. Do it for 6 months. Invest in your ability to communicate. Okay. Any questions about your personality profile?
Nope.
Now, do you see the role it plays in being self-employed?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's go into, let's say you hire a front desk person.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the primary and secondary role of a front desk person? Schedule appointments,
Mm-hmm.
collect money, recall missed appointments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are those easy things to do?
Yeah. Easy.
Recalling patients that have missed, that's easy.
Like physically speaking, yeah. Just to call them.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, it's
Not
not.
easy.
It's the
Not
number
easy.
one highest confrontation job in a chiropractic office.
Mm-hmm.
It's very high confrontation for a staff member to go to a patient that missed and call them to get them back in. They don't want to do it. It's high confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
Number
Yeah,
two,
I've been making my front desk do it.
number two, collect money. You think it's easy for people to collect money?
No, yeah, people will try to run out sometimes, yeah. So not easy.
How much confrontation does it take to collect money?
Um, A lot. Yeah, you got to just say it. No mumble, just say it.
Takes confrontation to collect money, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Okay. What if you hire somebody that has low con? You know of doctors that don't even want to talk money, don't you?
Yeah, and they can't even hardly talk to their patients.
Guess why? Low confrontation.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a higher confrontation topic. Getting new patients, asking for referrals, is that low or high confrontation?
Yeah, hi.
Now, guess what happens when you hire somebody for that role and they naturally don't have that personality style? What just happened?
You're gonna fall apart.
They're going to be able to recall patients that miss, collect money, or ask for new patients?
No,
And whose fault was it that it didn't work out?
mine.
Yeah, why?
Because I knew that that would be their weakness, and I didn't tell them, or I didn't what's the word for that?
You didn't know any
I
better.
I didn't know better, or just assumed they would do it when they wouldn't.
You didn't know any better. You didn't know that it doesn't matter how much training you do, it's not going to work out.
Hmm.
Why? Because of natural inclinations. Natural inclinations. You want to put people in positions that support their natural inclinations. You put somebody in a position that violates their natural inclinations, how well is that going to work out?
Yeah, not too good.
No. You go and hire a passive phlegmatic for your marketing. They got very low confrontation. Guess how well your marketing is going to go?
Yeah, again, not too hot.
Not. Are you going to be able to train it out of them?
Nope.
Why?
Because it's just there. Everyone has their weaknesses and strengths, and they would be better suited doing something else
That's
probably.
right. Yeah, they are who they are. That's right. So can you see how important it is that you understand how to evaluate personality profiles relative to who you're going to hire, what role they're going to play relative to their natural tendencies? Can you see how important that is?
Yeah,
See how important it is to be able to communicate with patients?
for sure.
Like a high sanguine. What's a high sanguine going to do?
Yeah, they want to talk about what they're doing over the weekend, talk about what they did a couple days
They're
ago.
to take off on you. You just going to let them take off on you?
Oh, let them talk for a half hour kind of thing?
Yeah. Are you going to let them just take off on you?
No, no, no. Can't let them just
You know,
get be here for an hour.
you know how to reel them in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say the hardest one for me is if someone's super, super choleric, and if I make a mistake or something, that those can be tough.
Well, they're actually the easiest because
Oh, really?
they make the decisions fast.
Mm.
They appear tough, but they're not because they make decisions fast. You got to just give them the information and get out of the way.
Hmm.
The melancholy, you better go into great detail.
Hmm.
They always want to be right. You better go into great detail. Passive phlegmatic, you'll think they're you'll think that it's going great and they're your best friend because they agree with everything. They got low confrontation.
Hmm.
But what are they not?
Yeah, they won't tell you.
They're not the decision maker.
Yeah.
So you'll think everything's going great and they'll get to day 4 and say, well, let me check with my spouse.
Hmm.
So you see how if you know all this, you can clean it up and decrease all this from happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Starts adding up, doesn't it?
Hmm. Yeah.
Same with the spouse. We know opposites attract. So if I have a 50-year-old dominant male, who's he probably married to?
Sanguine, right? Sanguine.
Sanguine or phlegmatic.
Right.
Let's say it's a heterosexual relationship. He's 50. He marries somebody that's around 50, right? And it's a sanguine or phlegmatic. What's the likelihood of you getting them as a new patient statistically?
Sanguine and phlegmatic.
Okay, let's go to gender first. Female, more likely or less likely to get as a patient?
Um, Less because she's gonna ask her husband, right?
No,
No.
Do women or men pay more attention to their health problems and act and spend time or money?
Oh yeah, definitely women. Yeah,
But
women.
we're already in a good spot. They're more willing to pay attention to their health problems and spend time or money, right?
Hmm.
She's 50 years old, good or bad?
Good.
Why?
She's got a last couple, a lot more decades to go, and she's probably a lot more concerned about her well-being.
No, that's not why. If you're 50 years
Um,
old, how many older problems and how many old injuries do you probably have?
yeah, probably several.
Have you probably been through a couple accidents and injuries and falls by the time you're 50 years old?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's a lot
Now,
more
what's the likelihood they actually have a chiropractic problem?
compared to like 18-year-old that's in college with no pain.
You understand that?
Yeah.
What else because they're 50? So you got
They have
woman,
money.
good,
They have money.
high probability of back pain, neck pain, arthritis, joint pain, right?
Hmm.
How much attention do they pay to their health?
Yes, a lot.
A woman versus a man,
Way more.
a lot. And what's the chances she's stable, mature, and has a job?
Yeah, definitely a lot higher than if you were younger.
Is that a high probability new patient?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you see how I just evaluated that based on your patient's personality?
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
How important is this?
Yeah, really important.
You think you need to know this?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Now, if you're self-employed, you don't need to know. If you're an employee, you don't need to know that, right?
I would say I need to know it.
But it'd be helpful.
Hmm.
You'd be above average employee if you actually knew all that and acted on it. But when you're self-employed, do you damn well better know it?
Yes, sir.
You don't have an option not to know it, do you?
Yeah, or you gonna go if I gotta go do something else, is you're gonna go
That's
under.
right. You see how all this connects?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go to this next category here. So let me pull this up. Do we have a video of your office?
Yeah. I'll pull that up.
You can email that to me.
Yeah, I can try to screen share it on my phone. I think I did email, but for some reason the videos are not happy with being sent. Let me see. Will that be okay?
Typically, what you have to do is upload it to like YouTube or to
Oh, okay.
or to a third party Google Drive and then share the link. That's typically how you have to do it.
Oh, okay. I'll have to
It,
figure that
it
out.
typically won't go from your phone to where you're emailing because if it's over 10 megabytes, it will have to go up. It'll have to be uploaded into the cloud or uploaded to your YouTube channel and then send the link.
Okay. Let's see if I can do this on my phone real quick. I'm joining twice, so hopefully it doesn't do anything weird. I'm gonna mute this one.
If you want to do a screen share, we can do that too. You want to try to do a screen share, we can do that also.
All right, can you hear me? Hold on. Okay, yeah. Should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah.
All righty. Let's go to the front here. I'm not sure if the audio will
Here's
go
the
through, but we'll
office in
see.
Yeah.
Hazeldale.
Okay. Just leave it alone. Let me listen first.
All right. Hopefully it's not glitching.
Here's our waiting area, nice and small. We don't want to keep our patients waiting. We have a student massage therapist. Here's our front desk. This is where we keep our traction cards. We do cervical traction right here. This is where we do lumbar traction. Then we have wobble chairs.
Um,
Then here's the exercise room. We might change it back to another adjusting room. Here's another adjusting room with another X-ray DMX machine. And we have our pre-core machines. Then we have standing lumbar traction here for scoliosis and other deformities. And here is the main chiropractic room, adjusting room. Got the computer, got some spine models, whiteboard talking about the 3 phases of inflammation, our X-ray machine. Right here. Adjusting table. And then we go down the hall where we have Dr. Woj's room, where he does regenerative medicine and stem cells. And then we have Karen here. She does massage therapy. And that's it.
Okay, let's talk about that a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's stop the screen share there.
Oh, you want me to stop it? You want me to stop it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, let's just talk about it for a second.
All right.
Okay, let's just talk big picture, because remember, when we're looking at do you have, I call it the factory. Do you have the factory in place? Do you have the space? Do you have the layout? Do you have the equipment? In other words, is that going to be a limiting factor? Remember, we're always looking for the limiting factor, right?
Sorry, hold on. All right, we should be good. I'm just gonna leave up my phone, sorry.
Okay. Remember, we're always, when we do evaluations for practice growth, we look at all these categories: space, person, first of all, personality, where you're at, the doctor, where's he at, conviction, confrontation, emotional. We go to the space. What are we looking for? The space. Do you have the ability to process? Is there any limit? Is there anything limiting in your space? So patients, when they come in, they can just come in, get treated, and go out. And then limit space, labor, equipment, right? And then we go to knowledge, skill, motivation, HR, and systems. Okay. So you definitely have enough space, square foot. You've got good layover. You're doing multiple things within the space, whether it's an X-ray adjusting in a doctor's office. That's real good overlap. The only thing that I did see, I only saw 2 therapies that were the same, right? I didn't see 3. Okay, your mute is on. Your mute is on. I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Now, what's going to happen when one
Right.
person, you only got 2 therapies of any kind, you don't have 3, right?
Yeah, just 2 adjusting tables.
Well, not just adjusting tables, therapy also.
Oh yeah, like two of everything it seems.
Okay, so what happens when one person comes in and they need the therapy? Is that going to be a problem?
It can, especially if I start getting busier.
That's not what I said. Hey, let's increase our active listening skills.
Okay.
Okay, that's not what I said. I said one person comes in. Are you for that therapy, or is it going to be any problem?
No.
No. Two people come in for that therapy at the same time. Is it going to be a problem?
Nope.
Three people come in at the same time. Is it going to be a problem?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if they all want to do that first, someone's going to have to wait.
Well, I specifically said they're wanting that therapy. Okay.
So yes, there will be a problem because they have to wait.
Yeah. The number of units you have will at some point be a limiting factor. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
How long can somebody wait before they start getting frustrated?
7 minutes and up,
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
What's the rule? What's the rule for growth? You always have to have a vacuum for growth. Does Mother Nature put more of something into something that's already full? No.
No.
You have to have a vacuum. So for you to put more water in a glass, what do you have to have in that glass?
Bigger glass?
Half of it has to be empty, or you got to have a bigger glass. Okay. So how many patients will typically can you go up to with only 2 therapies and nobody waiting? So the goal is not to have people waiting up to 7 or 12 minutes. That's not the goal. The goal is to have nobody waiting for that therapy. So anytime somebody's waiting for that therapy, like they say there's 2 people on it and somebody else is time for somebody else to get on it, what does that tell you about your practice right now?
That we need more stations, or we need to find a way to be more efficient?
Your practice isn't going to grow.
Isn't going to grow.
Doesn't matter what you do. Let's say you do marketing and you bring in a ton more new patients. What's going to happen?
Not going to work because everyone's going to be waiting around.
It's all going to stop at that station. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. This is a way of thinking that I'm talking to you. This is not nonchalant. These are real principles of growth.
Yes, sir.
So many doctors think they can have one therapy, and then they'll get like one therapy of 10 different therapies of one, trying to do everything. And what just happened? They limited how much patients they can see because they only have one therapy. And what happened to the overhead when you're trying to do 10 different things?
It's going to stop at a certain point.
Well, you got to buy 10 different things, right?
Yeah.
How much more training do you got to do with 10 things versus 3?
Yeah, a lot more.
What is more simple in systems, 10 or 3?
3.
Is this not common sense or what?
Common sense.
Now, if you're seeing 40 visits a week, will you even know it?
No.
No, you're going too slow.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find these problems when they become problems and before they become problems. Soon as somebody's waiting for any service, what do you have to tell yourself?
Is there a way, do I need to get more equipment or find if they can start a different station? Got to find a way.
Here's what you need to tell
Not
yourself. You just stop the growth of your practice. That's what you need to tell yourself. Now you can temporarily, right? You get 2 people and they're on it, third person comes in and like say they're doing 2 therapies. So you divert this one over to the other therapy first, right? How efficient is that?
Like if someone's doing cervical and then someone's doing lumbar and they switch.
Yeah.
I would say that's pretty
Is
efficient.
that a Band-Aid or is that fixing the problem?
I'd say it's fixing the problem.
Do you think that's fixing the problem?
Because if there's technically 4 stations and there's 4 patients, they can all start at the exact same time.
Okay. And now what happens with the 5th one?
And then they have to wait.
And now what do you got?
Stop and growth
You got a problem.
problem.
But you got one other problem. You ever heard of a thing called a system?
System, yeah.
Where people go A, B, C, D, E, F.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what happens when you train the patient to go A, B, C, D? Oh, by the way, That's not going to happen today. We're going to go A, B, D, F, and then we're going to come back to E. What'd you just do to your system?
Made a big mess and then there's a bunch of confusion.
Back to my original question. Did you fix the problem or is it now a Band-Aid?
Band-Aid.
Do you get the point?
Yes, sir.
It doesn't take much for a person to be distracted and go off point. They're way better if they do the same thing. We're like rats. We'd rather do the same thing over and over and over. Don't make me do something new. Don't make me do something. We resist change, don't we?
For sure.
Well, guess what your patients resist?
Same thing.
Same thing. So do you think I'd rather have 4 patients come in at once and I taught them to go to A, B, C, D, and they could all go to A, B, C, D all together? Or do you think I'd go A, B, 2 of them are going to go to C and 2 of them are going to go to D, and then they're going to switch?
Yeah, keep it organized. ABC.
You think that's what Henry Ford did?
No.
Do you get my point?
Yeah.
You see how anal I'm about this?
Yep. For sure.
Yeah, you can put a band on it, right? Is that the real way to grow a business, by putting a Band-Aid on it?
No, because then there'll be Band-Aids everywhere, and then you don't.
That's right. You just violated what they want. What do they want? They want stability and security. They don't want change. They want blah, blah, blah. That's why when you schedule them for appointment and say it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:30, right? And you cut them down to twice a week, you better stay on Monday, Wednesday, and you better stay on 5:30, because they've already put that in their life. So you better not, when they go Monday, Wednesday, 30 at 5:30, you better not go, okay, we'll see you Tuesday now at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Why? We're creatures of habit, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about you with human nature. I'm not talking to you about chiropractic or your feelings or my feelings. I'm talking about people and human nature, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what you got to learn about running a business. You got to learn about people and their natural instincts. So what would you rather do? 4 of them come in and they're all trained to go through A, B, C, D and out the door? Or they come in, A, B, C, after C, 2 go to D, and then they switch to C and D.
Yeah, ABC.
What'd you just do to them?
If we do it the other way,
Oh,
confusion.
by the way, when they come in the next time, that's not the system they're on. Next time they come in, it's A, B, C, D. What did you just do to them?
Confusion. They're not sure what to do.
Is that a system?
No,
Is confusion part of a system?
definitely not.
You get my point?
Yes, sir.
These are all the little things you won't even think a thing about. And it won't matter if you're not seeing very many patients, will it?
Nope.
You won't even know it. That's like your car. I say this all the time. If your car is only going 5 miles an hour and one of your tires is grossly out of a line, you won't even know it, will you?
Nope.
But that tire that's grossly out of line will stop you from going 40 miles an hour, won't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what happens in practices. It's all these little bad habits that now become stopgaps. So the first thing I would say, you got good utilization, you got good space, you got your therapies. I'd say you're going to be limited. So how many patients can you typically see? Now, those are active therapies, right?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Active versus passive therapies. They're rehabilitation therapies.
Yeah, we set them up in traction. They're doing it.
Do you know the difference between an active and a passive therapy?
Isn't active more the patient is the one having to do it versus if you're passive, someone's doing it for you, correct?
Well, passive, nobody's doing it. They just lay on it like a roller table or a muscle
Okay, yeah.
system. That's passive.
Yeah, let's say we have active and passive then.
Okay.
Active or
Most of the
exercise.
ones I saw there that are 2 were active therapies. They weren't passive therapies.
Hmm.
What's the difference also between an active therapy and a passive therapy with billing?
I'm not sure.
You don't know? You
No.
get paid more for active therapies.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Do you know there's time requirements with active therapies and there's no time requirements with passive therapies?
Oh, I see. Yeah, U1 units versus traction. It's just traction. There's no units for it.
Okay.
See, okay, yeah.
In other words, do you understand there's a clear distinction between those two types of therapies?
Yes, for
Okay.
sure.
So now you're doing active therapies and there's a required time limit on it. And let's say you're not doing the modifier. So now there's got to be 15 minutes from start to finish for that whole therapy for full billing, right?
Hmm.
You got 2 units. How many people can you schedule at the same time with 2 units? And
Isn't
nobody
that,
waiting.
isn't that like 15 to 27 minutes for that one? For 2
15, it's
units?
15 minutes.
Oh, 15 minutes.
So what's the most amount of people you can schedule at the same time that need those therapies?
It would just, yeah, it'd be 2 because we only have 2 of everything.
Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how many patients can you see before they're coming in and using those therapies? They're both being used. How many patients can you see before now people have to start waiting to go to that therapy?
Yeah, just 2.
How many patient visits will typically 2 visits allow you to go up to with nobody waiting when they're going to be waiting on the table for 15 minutes?
If we're doing it in the structure of ABC, it would just be 2, 2, 2, and
Well,
then we go to,
let's stick with ABC first, and then let's go to your ABCD, reverse it, FGQP. Okay,
Mhm.
let's stick with one first. Okay,
Okay,
so and then we'll go to the AABB. Okay,
okay.
okay. So you got 2 people coming in. They're going through ABCD.
Mhm.
You got 2 people on the therapy. How many patient visits a week are you going to be able to see before now somebody has to wait to get on that therapy?
A week?
The therapies are 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 therapies. They're on it for 15 minutes. How long before you're going to be able to schedule somebody else to get on that therapy?
Oh yeah, 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Okay. So how many patient visits are you going to be able to see at the exact same time with nobody waiting? Because you know that's the goal, right? Nobody wait. They come in, get treated, and they leave. You know that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
You know when people wait, they're not interested in building your practice and referring you patients. You understand that?
Yeah, I've been there being as the patient, it's
Okay.
terrible.
So let's get back to the model, the ABCD model. How many patient visits are you going to be able to see with only 2 therapies using the ABCD model?
It's gonna cap out at a certain number.
What do you think that's going to be with 2 therapies? 15 minutes
Um,
long.
15 minutes long. Well, in a week I got to 50 this week. But yeah, we definitely try to do, a certain order, but we definitely say, oh, we're gonna do lumbar traction today, and then let's do cervical after.
Okay. It's
I
about
don't,
60. I'll just tell you,
okay, yeah, I was like I say, I don't know.
it's about 60 to 80 visits.
Okay, 60, 80.
So in other words, can you see once you go past, say, 80 visits, people are going to now be waiting to get on it?
Yeah, I
Are you going to be able to grow your practice now?
nope.
Okay. Now let's use your model. They're doing two active therapies. 2 come in or on those 2. 2 more come in. They're supposed to be on it, but you're going to move them over here first, right?
Hmm.
But you trained them on ABC, but now you're switching them over to ABFE. Good systems, no confusion with the patient,
Confusion.
high
Yes.
reproducibility,
No.
easy communication between staff members.
Nope.
What did you just introduce to your system?
Chaos.
Chaos. Let's keep playing the chaos game, okay?
Okay.
You got 2 going in through ABCD, 2 come in, do the other time. So if you do go to the chaos model, you can do 4 at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Nobody waiting. And then you switch, okay? How many can you see with the chaos model now?
Yeah, just 4.
Well, patient visits a week. If you can see
Um,
2, if with 2 units, you can see up to 60 to 80, you're going to do the chaos model. So how many will you be able to see now?
Wouldn't it be the same?
No,
No?
no, you got 4 people on instead of 2. And then they're going to switch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if they do that, you'll be able to see more patients, won't you?
Yeah.
And they're not waiting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we moving too fast here? Are we okay?
No, yeah, we're okay. I'm just saying, yeah, if there's two to start the ABC, would people have to, if 4 people come at the same time, if everyone needs to start at A, only 2 people can start with A. So wouldn't those 2 people have to wait?
But we're talking about the chaos model now.
Yeah.
So we're going to put 2 over to C and D. 2 are going to go on A and B, right?
Yeah.
And then when it's over, you're going to switch them, right?
Yeah.
And we already agreed that's chaos, right?
Yeah. Chaos.
Okay. But could you see more patients doing that model?
No.
Yeah, you're seeing 2 are on therapy as opposed to waiting.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying with the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would be able to sneak up more visits kind of accidentally, right?
Yeah.
But what did you introduce to your system?
Yeah. Chaos will
What
start
do you think Henry
speaking.
Ford did? You think he just, this line is full, so go, hey, if the bumper line is full, let's take the next 5 cars and put the steering wheel on and then go down the line and switch them back. And you think that's what Henry Ford did?
No.
What do you think Henry Ford did?
Start A.
Let's
End up
make
with
another
B.
line.
Yeah. Or yeah, make another one.
How much sense does that make?
Complete sense.
How much easier is it just to make another line and keep everybody on the same system?
Yeah, just clarity.
Yeah. So you have a Band-Aid. Okay. So the two therapies become limiting factors until you enter chaos. You're going to find that out as you grow your practice. And now somebody's got to make that decision in the back, who's on where, what, and you're confusing the patient. What do they do first, second, and third? Okay. That sound like an efficient way to run a highly productive business?
If we're doing ABC, yeah.
What if you're doing A, B, C, G, F, A, B, C?
No. Sloppy.
Yeah. Okay. So what would I do if I walked into your office? I bought that practice. What do you think the first thing I would do, looking at space? And we're not talking about labor yet. So your space is fine. We're only talking about equipment. So guess what? The first thing I would do to increase your productivity, and by the way, it's going to be your first this is going to be one of your first limiting factors. You're not there yet, but it's going to be one of your first limiting factors. You're going to either have to introduce chaos. Not real smart, is it?
No.
Or what's the easiest, simplest, most effective thing to do?
Yeah, create another line.
Add another therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. Another therapy keeps all the systems the same. All the training's the same. The staffing, everything's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what happens when you get somebody's waiting after 3?
Get another one.
At 4. Okay. Generally speaking, when you have 6, it takes about 6 therapy stations to be able to see over 200 or 300 patient visits a week, depending on what they are, if they're active therapies or passive therapies. Active therapies take more time.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you even need more than 6 to see like 300 or 400 visits a week. But optimally, you're going to be very limited with 2 therapies. It's usually 60 to 80 visits, or you have to introduce chaos. That's not real smart, is it?
No.
What's the easiest damn thing to do?
Yeah, keep creating lines.
Add another therapy.
Therapy, yeah.
Soon as somebody's waiting again, what's the easiest thing to do?
Just keep on adding.
You get how easy is this?
Easy until we run out of space.
Do we have to change the systems, the flow, the training?
Nope.
Are we confusing the patient?
Nope.
You see how these things start adding up?
For sure.
Okay. You go into an office and you're taught to go A, B, C, D. You do that 3 or 4 times. And then, oh, by the way, that you come in one day, you've been trained to go A, B, C, D, this room, then this room or whatever. and they go, "Oh, Mary, we're come over here. We're going to do this the first time." How do you feel about that when they said that?
Yeah. Like, wait, what? I want to do
Are
this one. We're supposed to
you a
do this
little
one.
confused?
Yeah.
You want to introduce that to your practice?
No.
Got to think smarter. So you're going to run into a limiting factor right around 60 visits, definitely by 80, because you got 2 therapy units, not 3. 3 will take you up to about 120 visits. 4 will take you up to about 150. Usually 6 visits takes you over 200, or 6 therapies take you over 200 with nobody waiting.
Yeah.
And when it comes to labor now, who's doing the therapy? Do you have a part-time person, full-time person, or is the doctor running around and doing that?
Yeah, it's me and my front desk doing it. So, for example, in Battleground, they have a
No,
designated.
no. We're only talking about your office.
Okay. Yeah, just me and her, just 2 people.
Okay. All right. You're seeing 40 visits a week, no big deal, right?
Yeah, not bad.
You got plenty of time. In other words, you should be doing everything in the back, all the clinical. She should be doing all the administrative in the back. You can't have her running back and forth, putting people on and off therapy and expect to grow the practice, do you? You think Henry Ford, it just keep saying this to yourself every time you think of your practice. Would Henry Ford do this? You think Henry Ford would take his receptionist and run her back to the line where they're building the vehicles to put something on and off a vehicle and then run back up to the reception area?
No.
You see how stupid that sounds?
Yeah.
But chiropractors do that
hmm
because you don't even realize you're wasting. No, the chiropractor, you should treat the patient and you're the one that should put them on and off therapy unless what? You're tied up because we don't want the patient waiting, right?
Yeah.
So the only reason that she should be putting somebody on or off therapy is you're tied up. What are the 4 qualifiers that'll make you tied up?
Someone's waiting for an adjustment.
You shouldn't be tied up for an adjustment. How long does it take you to adjust somebody?
2 minutes.
That's not being tied up. You're tied up seeing a new patient.
Oh, yeah. New patient or exam.
You're doing a consultation, exam, or x-rays, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Or patient education, right? You're a little more tied up there, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You shouldn't be tied up for an adjustment. So she should be trained, and that should be trained. You're the one that should be taking them on and off therapy because you're the clinical in the back and she's the administrative in the front. You don't run her ass around, but that's what chiropractors do. You know why?
Lazy.
They're lazy. Here's typically what happens. They're not efficient with their notes. They get done with the patient. They're not efficient with their notes. They take their time doing the soap notes. They make the front person stop what she's doing, run to the back, put them on therapy, go up to the front. Doctor's taking his time with the notes, on the phone with his friend. And then when the bell rings, she runs back to take him off therapy. Do you think Henry Ford would run his factory like that?
No way.
So who started the whole problem?
I did.
The doctor being lazy with his notes. You should be totally done with your notes before that patient leaves the room. That's how fast and efficient you should be. And then you're the one at that low volume, you're the one that should be putting them on therapy and taking them off therapy unless you're tied up. So now it's trained in. The only time she comes back to put them on or off is she knows you're tied up because we don't want the patient waiting, right?
Yeah. I have been putting them on everything.
Okay. I'm talking about guidelines and rules to running a highly efficient property. And I'm going through multiple categories.
Okay.
Going through space, labor, equipment, knowledge, skill. We're going through all the categories. How many things could go wrong up to this point? How many topics did we cover right now that could go wrong?
Yeah, a whole handful of them.
A lot.
A lot of Band-Aids.
So we need to find, so what do I know is going to happen when you take your practice up to 60 plus visits?
Start to run out of space.
You got chaos.
Chaos.
You're going to introduce chaos. You're going to make her run her ass off more.
Mm-hmm.
The patient's going to get confused. That's how you're going to grow a practice.
No, we've discussed this too.
That's where you're headed.
Yeah.
That's one of, now I haven't even covered the other limiting factors yet. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and what's about where you're headed. So anyway, you should be putting them on and off. Do your 2-3 minute adjustment. You take care of all the clinical. It's trained in if you're doing one of the major activities, patient education, exam, consultation, x-rays. That's the only time she comes back. Okay, now you start seeing 60, 80 visits. What's the very next thing you should do?
Get more therapies.
Get another therapy so so 3 people can be on it, not violating the system, right?
Yep.
Then what else should you do for labor?
I believe we would need someone, I don't know, I forget the official we need a CA, yeah, we need a CA.
Okay, do you need a full-time one or part-time?
Full-time.
No, you're
Full-time.
told you're totally okay temporarily with a part-time person during the industrial hours. That's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the afternoon, 2 to 6. And all they do, what's their only role? This is like a college student, high school. What's the only thing they do? Put people on and off therapies.
Pretty
Will
straightforward.
will that increase the flow and allow you to move up faster with less cost?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, you could bring in that depends on how fast you want to grow. If I want to grow fast, I'm not going to fool around with a part-time person, right?
Yeah, no.
I need another anchor person, don't I?
Yep.
Now, why? The anchor person's not only going to be there full time, but we're also going to do all the help with all the therapy, but also the marketing. So now you got somebody else pushing the new patients.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go slow and you're watching your money, you want to go part-time up to about 120, 30 visits, right?
Yeah.
Soon as you go to 120 for 30 visits, then you hire your anchor person, and you can still keep your part-time person as you keep growing. You don't need another anchor person. You only need 2 full-time people in your practice, the way it's laid out, to maximize your time for money. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
In other words, you had a full-time person, full therapy person in marketing. That's enough for you to see 200 visits a week or however, that's it. Right?
Yeah.
Can't do that with a part-time person though, can you?
No.
So that's the next decision point you're going to be coming across with labor. It's go away. We get up to 60. We've got a therapy problem. We need 3, not 2. And now we need to leverage time better. So she's not running her ass around. I'm not running my ass around, but nobody's waiting. So you go, well, let's do a stopgap and hire somebody part-time just to come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday after work or only during the main industrial hours. Are you open on Friday afternoon?
No.
So it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday then, right?
Yeah. 9 to, yeah, you do know the schedule.
Yeah. When somebody schedules in the afternoon 3 times a week, it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay. So your part-time person would come in afternoons, like 2 to 6, 3 to 6, just to help people move on and off tables. That's it.
Yeah.
So how much would that take? So the part-time person is going to leverage time to come up. You add 1 more unit. Now you got 3 units, not 2. Is anybody waiting now?
Nope.
Do you got room for growth?
Oh yeah.
Comes up to 120, 130. What's going to happen? What's going to happen to those 3 tables, those 3 units?
You're gonna get full.
Which means you got to do what now?
Get more therapies.
Get another unit. And now what's happening to your volume? Do you want to keep a part-time? Is a part-time person going to help you grow to the next level?
Nope.
No. So you're either going to have to get the part-time person at 60 to 80 with plans on running it right up, or if you want to save on money, right? Go a little slower, bring the part-time person in to take it up to 120, 130. You got your 3rd table. You're probably going to need your fourth one now when you hit 120, 130. And now you're going to want a full-time person. That's going to leverage them to see more patients in the non-major hours. That's going to free you up to see more patients, right?
Yeah.
And they're taught marketing. So it frees you up to see more business and they help create more business. How much sense does that make?
Crystal clear.
Do you understand your system right now? You're not going to go past 60, 80 visits a week.
Yeah, and then just talking about it really clarifies it. Easy just to be like, oh yeah, I know that, but to actually talk about it, it's like, oh yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah. You're stuck at 60, 80 visits a week, no matter how many new patients you get with your present system.
For sure.
Okay. So we're just saying, and we haven't even covered the other topics yet, have we?
No.
You may not even be good at some of these other systems. So we still don't know the primary problem, don't we?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, so we covered space, labor, equipment. We know what we're dealing with there. We got your personality profile. Are you from the area?
I'm from Michigan, but I've lived around here since I was 5, so yeah.
Is your parents or family around there?
Yeah, I live like 8 minutes away, 10 minutes away. I live at home still.
Okay. And then so your parents are there, you've lived there for quite a while. Well, that's good. And then or what child are you, the firstborn, secondborn?
First, I'm a twin. First.
First, how many brothers and sisters?
Yeah, twin brother and a little sister.
Three altogether. You're a
Oh,
twin.
yeah.
Fraternal, identical twin.
Fraternal.
Fraternal twin. And then what do your parents do for a living?
My dad's a contractor, my mom's stay-at-home mom.
Stay-at-home mom. What was your first job? You remember?
First official job, Fred Meyer pushing carts.
Or were you in high school?
Yep, 18.
Yeah. Who bought your first car?
Parents.
Parents did. Did you have to pay for the gas and insurance?
I pay uh, a chunk of the insurance, but yeah, I pay for gas.
And then how did you get into chiropractic again?
I just had pains growing up, and I was thinking I want to do something in the medical field, but didn't. I don't looking into nursing, didn't like it. Physical therapy, thought it was not really what I wanted, and then set with chiropractic. So I don't have like like a crazy, oh, I got adjusted and I want to be a chiropractor the rest of my life. More, I was just around it. I like the atmosphere, how you can connect with patients, and then also not getting stuck working for someone your whole life.
Did you get chiropractic treatment before you decided to be a chiropractor, or you decided to be a chiropractor and then you got treatment?
I had treatment before.
Treatment before, okay. And for any big deal or just a minor problem or?
When I was younger, it was mostly upper back stiffness. And then I had lower back pain pretty bad just in school and everything. But yeah, mostly upper back.
Was that in high school or college?
Yeah, college. The low back.
Either.
High school was the upper back. Low back was college.
College, okay. All right. And then so we talked about space, not an issue, good layout. Labor, you're going to run right into a labor issue here in the next 10, 20 visits. You can see that, right?
For sure.
Okay. You're going to need to talk with Dr. Tom about that. I'll talk with him too, but you should be able to process about 60 patient visits a week. That'll kind of be maxing you out, running your butt around, putting them off, during it. Because remember, you only got 4 hours a day. You don't got 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So you got to be really efficient during those 4 hours. So you're going to run right up against that pretty fast. And then you're going to run up against the therapy issue pretty fast, unless you want to just, mix it for a while, put a little chaos in the system for a while. I don't recommend that at all. So space, labor, equipment. So that's good. We go to space, labor, equipment, knowledge, and skill. We're going to know that by looking at your stats. So next thing we'll do is we'll take a look at your stats. I need to know your dropout rate. The stats I send over, that all just needs to be filled out. You just need to fill out the dropout rate, the marketing. So I need to look at your dropout rate, your marketing, your prepays. I need to look at all the marketing information that's on there. So I don't know if have you seen that document yet?
I have one that's pretty similar, just in Excel.
Okay.
I think it's one Tom pretty much used from you, I'm pretty sure.
It probably is, but if you could update it, filling out, and then we'll
New
go.
one you're saying?
What's that?
Fill out the one you provided.
Yeah, I'll email it to you and the video of how
Okay.
to fill it out, and then update it. And then we'll take a look at your patient retention. That'll tell us what you do or don't know, your strength and weakness. Then we'll look at the marketing. Same thing, that'll tell us your strength or weakness. Okay. So remember, there's 7 layers of growing a practice. The very next head you're gonna run into is 60 to 80 visits, and it's going to be labor and one therapy unit. That's going to be your next limiting factor from what we know right now. It could be more based on what we see when we look at your statistics. If you have really bad statistics, that's not going to be good. So we'll look at your statistics to see what your knowledge and skill looks like. So we'll go space, labor, equipment, knowledge, skill, motivation, HR, and systems. We take a look at all of those and we go, okay, this is the number one problem that's limiting you the most right now. Could be 2 or 3, but this is the one. And you always find the number one and you always clear that out first. And if you don't clear it out, you don't put a system in place, it will come back. And it doesn't matter how much you grow up, the practice will always come back down to your weakest link. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we don't see a weakness link that's obvious right now, but we know you're getting ready to head into 2 weak links. That's going to limit your growth.
Yep.
And I think it's going to happen fast. As soon as we look at your stats, I think you're going to shoot up past 60 to 80 visits. I think you're going to hit your head on your 80 visit ceiling real fast. That's what I think. And then as soon as we put those in place, boom, the next ceiling after 60 to 80 is about 100, 120. And then that's a different issue again. So you see how we analyze this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're the one that needs to be able to do this. Everything that I just did to you, you need to be able to do on your set by yourself. That's what you have to be able to do to be an employer owner.
Accountable. Yeah.
Well, it's not just accountability. It's called getting ahead in life.
Mm.
You got to know how to evaluate, isolate, find, solve, and take it to the next level. Okay, so that's what we'll do next. I think we covered things in pretty good detail. I think you got a lot of clarity out of this, right?
Yeah, crystal clear.
Okay. Anything else you want to cover, or are we good for the day?
Oh, yeah, we're good today.
Okay. We covered quite a bit. I recorded this. I'll send you the recording if there's any parts of it you want to look at. So the next objective is doing the statistical analysis and the marketing that's on there. And then I want to review that with you. And then we'll have, when I look at all that, we'll be able to find the number one thing to increase your business the most, the fastest. And then we'll know what the limiting factor is. And that's how you take control of your destiny.
Sounds good.
You just keep knocking out the obstacles as you grow, evaluate again, clear it out, grow, evaluate, clear it out, grow. That's how you see as many patients as you want to see, to where eventually you need to hire 1 associate doctor, 2 associate doctors, 3, maybe you want to open 1 office, 2, whatever. Now you're in control of knowing how to run a practice and a business. So that's the path we're on right now. And it's fantastic for you because you're 25. You should be a multimillionaire in 5 years. 5 years.
Be nice.
Practice, associate doctors, take your residual money and leverage it into real estate. That's what should happen within the next 5 years.